Today at Livecast Plan Expo, I caught up with John Graby, Director of the Royal Institute of Architects in Ireland.
On May 1st, the Minister Gormley commenced the sections dealing with the registration of architects, but there has been a delay because he's to appoint the non-architects to the various boards. That's happening at the present moment, and I would hope to see it up and running in the first quarter of next year. A lot of work has been done in relation to systems, IT, applications, and particularly assessing those who don't have formal qualifications. We've just finished a pilot study under what's called technical assessment, where those who don't have formal qualifications can be assessed. We took in 18 to go through this very intensive assessment process. We've had appeals in September, obviously it's a right of appeal, and of the 18, 9 finally got through and now RIAI members. And this will be used as a base for discussion with the Statutory Technical Assessment Board when we come to run the system next year. So it's ready to go as soon as the Minister appoints the various non-architects. And given the events of the last few months, you can see why maybe it wasn't top of the agenda, but I know that the Department and the Minister and his advisors are working actively on selecting the various people for the boards and committees, because it's important we get the right people who are committed to the process and who know what they're doing. I think it's probably true to say that, any architect over the age of 55 has seen maybe 4 recessions. This is the 4th. It's by far the worst recession. It came on more quickly. Usually when there's a slowdown in one area of work in terms of architecture, something else opens up. Or indeed for young graduates, there's somewhere else you can go, some other country you can go to. I don't think anybody's seen it happen as quickly as this. Next week we're commissioning a survey of all RIAI practices just to establish what exactly is happening. How many people have been laid off on a regional basis, practice size and so on. Anecdotally it appears that among bigger practices maybe 20% have been laid off. The smaller practices who are doing domestic work and smaller scale work, some of those are very busy, and some of the bigger practices are still busy because they have a lot of work on site. But even they're saying by the end of next year it will be difficult. We're responding on many layers in many areas. At the most basic, obviously no increase in subscription. We're introducing unwage rates for architects who can't afford to do professional development courses, accreditation courses. There'll be unwage rates for architects who want to join the RIAI and register. We're saying nobody should be barred from joining the RIAI or continuing their membership or registering because of the present financial circumstances. On a broader base, we've been working with Enterprise Ireland. We had a trade mission out to the United Arab Emirates some weeks ago for 20 practices. There'll be more work happening in that area. It's bringing some results. We'll be having training sessions with Enterprise Ireland early next year on international marketing and selling and so on. We're also looking towards a series of accreditation and upskilling courses for architects, so that if there are various areas that can be exploited, we will. There's also an ambitious programme to have a year of architecture, reminding Irish society and government that architecture matters and we should be planning for the future. Feasibility work should go ahead. There's lots of things need to be done. We want to talk about that next year as well, as part of the general publicity campaign around registration, culminating with a major conference in Limerick in October, trying to bring together as many strands of architecture as possible. We've got to remind the public and government architecture matters and architecture is here to stay. Early next year there will be the government policy on architecture, an important milestone. We're launching a new book on housing, again with a message that we can do a lot better. We have done better in some areas. We need to plan for the future. Another important area is retrofitting of housing. Something like 54% of our carbon reduction is going to be in the area of residential. We can solve the problem with new building, but there's a huge amount of work to be done on retrofitting poorly insulated houses from the 60s, 70s and 80s. And that's an area we'll be concentrating on as well. Quite a number of the larger practices, even before the downturn, were looking to Central Europe, Eastern Europe and the Middle East as a source of work. And some have got work in that area. You can't manufacture work, but certainly architects will be looking to areas like safety and health, urban design, access auditing, access design, and particularly sustainability, and looking to any new area of work. For example, there is the whole aspect of urban design, local area plans. The DWI will be looking for local area plans much more so in the future, trying to avoid the sort of thing happened at small towns or villages where just a sea of estate houses appeared overnight without any connection to the village. So there are areas of work that we need to look at, we need to upskill our members and we need to exploit those areas of work.